Carrion is a game currently available to buy on Steam, Switch and Xbox One and available on the Xbox One Gamepass. Its developers, Phobia Game, describe it as a reverse horror themed game, where you play as a monster instead of the prey. It plays like a puzzle platformer and beautifully designed, and it looks like it may have taken inspiration from Another World for its art style. You start off in a containment pod, a few wiggles of the control stick later and you're free. You're given no context as to why you're there, all you know is you were and now you need to escape. You use the left stick to move around, and you move at one hell of a speed, and you're able to move anywhere in an open space, including suspending yourself in mid-air, and you can squeeze through the smallest gaps imaginable. You escape to, where else, the sewers, and the game introduces you to more mechanics. Using the right stick allows you to aim your tentacles, and combining it with the right trigger allows you to grab objects and throw them around. This is how you get through things like doors and air vents, and you can also use them to hurl at enemies. The same method is used to kill your first victim, a bloke sitting on the toilet. How very B-movie. Oh shit, it was a woman! Well, now I just feel like a pervert. To eat people, you grab them like you would any other object, but then drag them to your mouth for satisfying results. Eating a whole human adds to your health bar and increases your size. Size will play a part in the mechanics, but more on that later. You soon learn that you're able to manipulate switches with your tentacles and reach your first save point. Ooh, freaky. Graphics in this game are beautifully done. The animations are smooth and detailed convincingly, and the way tentacles latch onto surfaces in order to portray your movement is a treat to watch and is sure to get any hentai lover excited. Backgrounds are constantly changing. The use of light can change the tone of a situation on a fly. One minute you could be freely exploring the surface of the bright world, then you could be underground moving in on your next victim. The crafted with care graphics combined with the eerie, intense musical score make the atmosphere perfect every time. Using a save point will restore your health to maximum and often open up the route you need to take. In this case, the door nearby is opened when you complete the tutorial part of the game. These aren't levels, so instead you're going to be exploring a large complex series of connected areas. In my experience of playing the game, the objective was always the same. Find the save points to spread your sweet biomass loving and use it to force open the door to the next area. It sounds repetitive, but the game steadily feeds you new mechanics and features at a good pace to keep you hooked and interested. As you explore, you will encounter new threats and you won't be able to go everywhere straight away. Some areas will require you to learn a new ability to be able to traverse certain obstacles, because this biological creature able to rip off metal doors off the hinges and bite humans in two isn't able to knock down a wooden barricade. God, it's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You can find them in these containment pods, which you shake open then squeeze into. I fits, I sits. The first ability you get is to shoot webs, assigned to the right bumper, which can manipulate switches and pin enemies to the floor. It's also the only way to get past these square-looking structured things, which I haven't got a clue what they're supposed to be, that you'll see dotted around. Combat in this game is risky. Your health will drain quickly from being attacked, even from people using a small handgun. So while direct confrontation is an option, it's not always the best. It's safer to be tactical, using the abilities you will gain to intimidate, throw objects, distract, and momentarily stun your enemies, just to name a few things you'll be able to do. Although, snatching them up into air vents is always fun. As you explore, there are a few things to discover that will add to your enjoyment. The monster has the ability to access security footage, for some reason, and by accessing one of the many supercomputers you'll be able to play out the human's viewpoint in how they discovered the monster. You can also find tanks which will contain passive abilities for your monster, like being able to grab two objects at once. Though these ones aren't necessary to finish the game, the bigger ones you find with a hazard symbol are, because not only do they give you new powers, but sometimes they can also increase your size. With an increase in size, your health doubles and gain a new right bumper ability, a charge attack. Now we can bash through those wooden barricades. Still doesn't make sense why we couldn't use our big strong tentacle arms, but whatever. However, bigger isn't always better. Being bigger means you're now easier to hit, and when your health falls down to the green, you decrease in size. A simple fix though, return to a save point to regrow to full size, or the more fun way, nom nom on humans. Being a different size also affects the way you approach puzzles. Some of you may have noticed that the web ability isn't available to use anymore since I became medium size, and it's now been replaced with the charge attack. So, how do we get it back? One of two ways. Well, one is the masochist way where you get hurt until you're the right size, or the proper way, by taking a shit in water. You can deposit some of your biomass into water to shrink down and access the other abilities. To grow it again, you eat it, which might count as cannibalism? Is it cannibalism if you eat yourself? Regardless though, it's a cool feature and it's a refreshing new take on puzzle games. The last thing I discovered before my hour was up was defensive abilities. After having a lot of fun destroying property and feasting on humans, who probably were dicks anyway, I discovered a second green containment tank. In it was the ability to go invisible, which in all honesty made me let out an evil giggle. Unlike your aggressive abilities, your defensive ones use power, which can be collected from sticking your tentacles into giant plug sockets. The energy does drain quick though, so be sure to use it when you need it. Pro tip, it's good for getting past lasers. So I've enjoyed this game quite a lot, and I kept playing it after the hour. The only problem I did have was I would get lost a lot. You can use your voice to detect where save points are, but without a map, they can still be quite hard to find. And there isn't a map you can unlock in the game, you just have to hope that you remember everything yourself. In conclusion, Carrion is definitely a good game. The developers clearly had a lot of fun and love going to this project. The controls are really easy to master, the pacing is well thought out, and the graphics and music complement each other perfectly. It's enjoyable as fuck, and being the monster for once in a single player horror game is a welcome change to the modern gaming world. If you are a horror fan, you're going to enjoy this game. You do actually feel like a threat, and some of the maneuvers you pull off to kill humans does look like a scene straight out of a horror movie. If you want to give this a go, it's available on Steam, Switch, Xbox One, and